Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the farm. Today we're working on the Vette again, and what I've got here in front of me is the card that used to be attached to the ceiling. This is part of the headliner, and what I've done is I took it out, I went and rubbed it all down, got all the dusty stuff off of it, blew it off with compressed air, went and took a little bit of sandpaper, really fine grain, and kind of got all the rest of the dusty, crusty stuff off of it. Then I flipped it over here on the back and I removed a whole bunch of the old adhesive and stuff off of it, and I did the same thing to the underside of the Targa top roof. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go and add a piece of insulation onto this so that it'll have a little bit more heat reflectivity. And I didn't want to give this up because this is part of the sound deadening for the roof. Now we've got some 3M Super 77 general purpose adhesive, and what we're going to do is we're going to shoot this with some adhesive, and we're going to go and take the insulation and put it on that, and then we're going to go and put the headliner material on it after it cures and dries. So I've already done all the prep work, and I went and laid down some newspaper here because, you know, this stuff is really sticky and it sticks to anything it gets onto. So let's go and lay a layer of this on here. Be sure and get it really good around the edges. Don't worry about some foam spots, those will go away pretty soon. And now I've got my layer of insulation. We're basically going to do the same thing to the insulation. Be sure and put some around the edges. And you want to let that get a little tacky. Yep, it's already tacky. And you very carefully line this up. And once it starts sticking, it's gonna be there. It's not going to go much of anywhere once it's set down. Now I've got a old paint roller. We're going to roll all around on here. Make sure that binds up real good. Especially around the edges. Now this insulation material is sound deadening material as well as heat reflectivity. So now that I've got that attached, I got some little pieces of wood here. I'm going to put it over here on the edges and the corners and weigh it down a little bit. And then I'm going to let this sit overnight and let it set up. And then tomorrow we're going to come in and we're going to cover this with the headliner material. I picked black just because it looks good and it matches everything else that's on there. And before you put everything away, make sure you try to wipe off this glue, because otherwise it'll be there forever. And wipe off that little tip. And tomorrow we will get to go after this and put some headliner material on it. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to the farm. It's the next day, and I have gone and laid out our new headliner material. It's black on the face of it. I've got the bottom side up so I can glue it to the card, and that's over here behind me. And I'm about to go and lay down some adhesive on this, lay down some adhesive on that. We're going to sandwich the two, and then I'm going to roll them, and I'm not going to go and curl the edges up just yet. That's in the next step. So let's get to work. And this box weighs about 10 pounds. So I'm going to put that in the middle. And now we got to sit and let that cure and do its thing before I start trying to fold the stuff over the edge here. But that ought to stick pretty good. We'll have to let that dry and cure and do its thing. So we'll be back in a little while. Well, now that we've got the headliner all glued down to the backing board, and that's sitting off to the side to dry, and I know I'm fixing to go and spray adhesive all over the inside of this, I don't want to get it on the black parts that are visible and are not going to be covered. So I'm going to take some painter's tape and cover up everything that I don't want to get adhesive on. So let's get to work. Now we get to wait for it to dry and cure and set up and go inside and crack open a beer. We'll come out here after a while and see how well we did. I can already see I made one mistake in the back. There's a little wrinkle, but I'm really not worried about that because once we get a roll bar put in place, nobody will ever see it. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm ready to take a break. It's 98 degrees out here. Yeah, time to go inside. Well, it's been a few hours. Let's get these kitty litter bags off of here and see if it's stuck. Yep, and it feels like it's pretty well stuck. Now I got to go and remove all the masking. And there we go. We've got the headliner all done and replaced. Got the weather stripping done. And now the roof is ready to go back on the car. Thanks for hanging out with me and getting some work done today. Appreciate your viewing. And come back and see us.